In the world of professional boxing, there have been moments so shocking they've left fans and critics in disbelief. But few matchups have generated the level of hype and anticipation as the recent showdown between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez on that fateful night in Las Vegas. The roar of the crowd reverberated through the arena as two titans of the boxing world stepped into the ring. Canelo Alvarez, the pound-for-pound king, oozed confidence, while Terence Crawford, the challenger, exuded focus as the bell rang, signaling the start of the first round. The crowd erupted. Canelo, true to his nickname, began the fight with a flurry of punches, each one a testament to his raw power. Yet amidst this aggressive start, something unexpected happened. Crawford remained unfazed. He slipped, he weaved, he bobbed, and he wove, turning what should have been a daunting first round into a masterclass in defensive mastery. But Crawford wasn't just about defense. His offense was a thing of beauty to behold. With lightning-fast reflexes and an uncanny ability to read his opponent, he began to counterpunch with surgical precision. And then came the moment that shifted the tide of the fight. In the third round, Crawford landed a thunderous right hook that caught Canelo off guard. It was a clean hit. A perfect example of Crawford's technical brilliance. As the fight wore on, Crawford continued to dominate. Round after round, he dissected Canelo, his punches finding their marks with a consistency that was nothing short of mesmerizing. Canelo, once the aggressor, found himself on the back foot, trying in vain to land a punch that would turn the tables. But Crawford's defense was impenetrable. He danced, he dodged, and he countered, all while dictating the pace of the fight. By the seventh round, the narrative was clear. Crawford had not just come to win. He had come to dismantle. His movements in the ring were precise, his punches accurate, his footwork flawless. He was like a boxer from another era. A throwback to the golden days of boxing when skill and technique were the ultimate weapons. Then came the eighth round, a round that would become a defining moment in the fight. Once again, Crawford unleashed a flurry of punches, each one more powerful than the last. The combination was so intense, so overwhelming that Canelo's corner had no choice but to throw in the towel. It was a decision born out of necessity, a last-ditch attempt to protect their fighter who was clearly outclassed. As the official announcement echoed through the stadium, a wave of shock and disbelief washed over the crowd. Could it be? Was it really over? There in the ring stood Terence Crawford, the new King of Las Vegas, the city that had witnessed yet another chapter in boxing's rich history. Terence Crawford's victory over Canelo Alvarez wasn't just a win. It was a clinic in boxing, a lesson in skill, strategy, and sheer determination. In contrast, Canelo Alvarez's performance was perplexing. The man who had been touted as the best pound-for-pound fighter was made to look ordinary, even helpless at times. This begs the question, where did it all go wrong for Canelo? Canelo's camp had meticulously prepared for this fight, studying Crawford's moves, analyzing his strengths and weaknesses. They knew what a tough challenge lay ahead, but they also believed in their man. Canelo had shown time and again that he was a fighter who could adapt, evolve, and overcome any obstacle. However, on that fateful night, their game plan seemed to fall apart. One possible explanation lies in the difference in fighting styles. Canelo, known for his aggressive, in-your-face style, relies on overwhelming his opponents with a barrage of punches. Crawford, on the other hand, is a master of defensive boxing. He uses his agility and quick footwork to dodge incoming attacks, making him a challenging target to hit. This stark contrast in styles may have caught Canelo's camp off guard. They had truly grasped the extent to which Crawford's defensive prowess would neutralize Canelo's offensive power. The size difference between the two fighters also played a role. Crawford, despite competing in a higher weight class, was significantly taller and had a longer reach. This physical advantage allowed him to keep Canelo at bay, frustrating the Mexican fighter who was accustomed to dominating inside the ring. Canelo's frustration grew with each passing round. You could see it in his clenched fists, in the angry expression on his face. But frustration turned to panic in the seventh round when Crawford's onslaught of punches sent him crashing to the canvas. Despite getting back up, the damage was done. Both his confidence and his composure were shaken. Looking back, it's clear that Canelo's camp may have underestimated Crawford's mental game. They didn't fully appreciate how the American fighter's confidence would grow with each successful block, each counterpunch, each defensive maneuver. Crawford wasn't just a skilled boxer. He was a master strategist who knew how to win the psychological battle as effectively as he won the physical one. In retrospect, the red flags were there. Crawford's previous fights had shown glimpses of the same dominance he displayed against Canelo. His victory over Amir Khan in 2019 was equally decisive, but perhaps those wins were overshadowed by the magnitude of what was to come. The clash with the seemingly invincible Canelo Alvarez. What makes Crawford's victory even more remarkable is the way he carried himself after the fight. There was no gloating, no trash talking, just a quiet, confident smile. He had let his boxing do the talking. For Crawford, it wasn't just about winning. It was about proving a point. He was the better boxer that night, and he proved it in the most spectacular fashion. Crawford's humility in the face of victory is a testament to his character, a reminder that true greatness isn't just about overpowering your opponent, it's about outclassing them with skill and precision. His win over Canelo was a defining moment in his career. It was the kind of victory that elevates you from being just a good boxer to becoming a legend of the sport. Yet despite his stellar performance, many are already clamoring for a rematch. They want to see if Crawford can do it again, if he can replicate the magic of that unforgettable night in Las Vegas. But Crawford isn't looking back. He's focused on the future, on what's next for him in this thrilling journey he calls professional boxing. In the annals of boxing history, some matches become more than just fights. They become cultural moments, events that transcend the sport and capture the public imagination. The bout between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez was one such match. From the outset, it was clear that this wasn't going to be a typical boxing match. The build-up had been intense, filled with trash talk, stare-downs, and promises of an epic showdown. Then came the night itself. A sold-out crowd in Las Vegas. The whole world watching, all eager to witness the clash of titans. And then there was the aftermath. The immediate reaction to Crawford's victory was one of shock and disbelief. People couldn't believe that Canelo, who had been undefeated for so long, who had been considered the best in the world, could be beaten so decisively. But as the initial shock wore off, a new emotion took over. Admiration. People began to appreciate the magnitude of what they had just witnessed. Crawford's victory wasn't just a surprise, it was an upset of epic proportions. In the hours and days following the fight, the media went into overdrive. Every major news outlet wanted a piece of the action. Every sports show debated the outcome. Every commentator analyzed every move. Crawford and Canelo became instant legends, not just because of the fight, but because of the emotions it evoked. But perhaps the most fascinating part of the story was how the general public reacted. People from all walks of life, people who knew little about boxing or followed it religiously. They were all talking about one thing: Crawford's stunning victory. The fight had captured the public imagination, and in doing so, it had transcended the sport itself. It's rare for a sporting event to capture the attention of the wider public, but Crawford vs. Canelo did it effortlessly. It was the underdog story, the David and Goliath narrative that we all love. It was the confirmation that in boxing, as in life, anything can happen. As for Crawford and Canelo, they emerged from the fight as true champions. Crawford, the victor, had shown the world that hard work, dedication, and skill can conquer all. Canelo, the vanquished, had shown grace and humility in defeat. Both men had etched their names in boxing history, ensuring that their legacies would forever be intertwined. So what was so shocking about the night? What made it stand out from the countless boxing matches that have come before? It was the perfect storm of factors that came together to create a spectacle that will be talked about for years to come. It was the clash of styles, the size, difference, the underdog story, the star power of the fighters, and above all, it was the human drama that unfolded in real time. In the end, it was a boxing match that delivered on all fronts. It was a technical masterpiece, a strategic battle, a psychological thriller, and a visual spectacle all rolled into one. It was, without a doubt, one of the most shocking nights in Las Vegas boxing history. The world of professional boxing is known for its unpredictability. However, The recent showdown between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez took shock value to a whole new level. If you thought this was surprising, stay tuned for more updates.